You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Shameless After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Shameless After Show.
I love that music. Welcome, everybody. Bing is for doing, and we're here doing the first episode of Season 3 for Shameless.
Woohoo!
El Gran Canon. Now I understand why they called it that.
Yes, at the very end.
Yes. I am your host, Phil Svitek. You guys remember me from past seasons. Joining for this season, 2 new characters. Yeah. Go ahead and introduce yourselves. Why don't we start with you, JJ?
All right. Hi, I'm JJ Jurgens. Happy to be here on the Shameless crew this time.
She's feeling a little bit sick. That's why her voice isn't 100%. But you guys can check her out on other shows like Dexter, Nashville.
But she looks beautiful.
Oh, thanks.
And I'm your host, Drea Renee. So excited to be here. It's my first show in AFTERBUZZ. Woohoo!
Welcome. We're popping that cherry.
Oh, yeah.
Especially, I mean, Shameless is no stranger to popping anything.
No.
Yeah, it's pretty fitting that you're here for that one for your first time.
So let's get right into it. Let's start with the kind of smaller storylines, then build our way up. Let's start with Ian and his developing relationship with Lloyd.
I know.
What are you guys' thoughts on that? Are you guys pro Lloyd? Not? It's just creepy?
I'm not into it. I think it's kind of weird. A little creepy for me.
It's creepy, but I kind of like it. Like, I like Harry Hamlin, and I kind of didn't really expect him to be around a lot longer, and so I'm kind of interested to see how, seeing some of the clips from the season ahead to see how his character.
You know what's nice? It's nice to see that, Ian, of course, is a Gallagher, and all these Gallaghers have really effed up relationships.
Yes.
You go down the line, Fiona, Lip, Frank, dating back to the start of time. So, this is just continuing that lineage.
Yeah, I thought he was just going to, pop in and then, pop back out, but sounds like he might be around for a little while.
I think so, especially, I applaud Ian for kind of saying, hey, I have a boyfriend coming.
I was like, okay, let him know.
Yeah,
Okay.
but then
it got weird.
Yeah.
He's not going to take a no for an answer.
No, he's like, I have a wife, so it's all good.
And he's game for anything. Wants a threesome, adventures.
And for Lloyd, it is just sex, right?
Yes.
Or does he care about Ian and more than just that?
I think it's just sex. I think it's also, building his ego. He likes having these, he's an older man, so that he's getting these younger, fit, athletic.
But he might catch some feelings. I think he may just be playing along with the line that he's going of. He has a boyfriend. He's like, oh yeah, I have a wife.
Well, the gift. That's why I asked, is because he gave him the gift tonight.
Yeah,
that was the indicator for me.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So,
yeah,
it'll be interesting. Ultimately, who do you think? Let's start with this. I have 2 questions. Who's better for Ian?
Ooh.
That's the tougher one of the 2.
Yeah, that's tough.
Well, Lloyd has money.
I was going to say, if he wants out of his situation, if he wants to have an easy life, clearly he can choose.
Or he can stay on the same track and then,
Well, here's the thing. You need someone to help, motivate you. Forget the money. Money aside, but whereas his boyfriend, that's just, it's someone lesser than him.
Right.
You know what I mean? You want to upgrade, if anything.
And he's not even out anyway. He's not even comfortable with the situation. He doesn't even want to be in the relationship.
And he's such a hothead, too, that, that's just trouble brewing.
And plus, that's Mandy's brother, and that's
weird
in itself.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, just a bad recipe. I that's why I don't mind Lloyd.
Yeah, I think he'll be a good mentor for him. You know,
I mean, mentor.
maybe help him, just to like help him out. You know, maybe show him a different side of life.
Okay.
That's what I think.
All right. Let's talk about Sheila because that's a kind of a quick, easy one as well.
I love her. I love her.
I agree. She's the best.
I love her.
She's hating life right now, though.
Yeah, she is. She is with the baby. It's like nothing is. It's like it's losing its luster with Jody.
Well,
Yeah.
how do you guys feel? You know, she was so excited about the baby, and now she couldn't be less excited.
I know.
About this baby.
I actually liked though how it showed that made it realistic. Like I'm sure I've just been with my brother's niece this past weekend, and it's just there's never a break. So I think it was nice that it was like contrasting how excited she was, and then now it's like she's in the throes of it and dealing with the crying baby all the time. I love that Jody was just
not even
no help. Yeah, just sleeping with the earplugs, so he didn't have to deal with it. And then
But he was helpful with the he was making the baby food. He was
Yeah.
like, I don't want to buy that stuff because it's the stuff they put into it, food coloring.
Yeah.
So.
No, I think just along the lines of he's always been kind of the dope himself, and kind of like a kid.
Exactly.
So it's like now she's kind of dealing with two kids because he goes in and his answer is like, playing the bongos when he goes into the baby room to help her drumming on whatever.
And it's been so long because Karen's an adult, and so she probably forgot all how crazy it is to have a baby. So, yeah.
And I think life's worn her out. I mean, she's dealt with Karen, and so she's also dealing with that. I mean, when Frank called, she immediately Karen, and then Frank.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to talk to him. I thought she was going to help him
No,
out for
she's
a second.
over.
Yeah,
I mean, it's healthy that she's kind of over him.
I know.
Yeah.
I used to feel really bad for her because he took advantage of her all the time. I was like, come
But
on,
most
Sheila.
people do, and that's the sad part.
I know.
So it's I'm interested how this kind of develops, but
Yeah, I don't wonder if they're going to last through the season, Jody and old Sheila. How
I
it's gonna
think
pan
they
out.
will last. I think for Sheila, it's more a matter of she really misses Karen. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's what for me it comes down to. So I'm excited to see more.
Yeah.
When do you think Karen's gonna?
Yeah. When's she going to
reappear?
pop back in?
I'm gonna guess. It could be one of those things. Sometimes you can do it like episode 2 or 3. I think last season, right? Jimmy, as we're gonna now call him instead of Steve. I'm gonna have
Jimmy, Steve, Jimmy.
I know, I like Jimmy Steve.
I always used to call him Steve, and now it's gonna be weird for me to just call him Jimmy.
We can give him like a Jeeve or a Stimmy. Get a celebrity name.
Right.
Yes.
Sorry, I
Combine it.
digress.
But last season, I believe I'm 95% sure it was episode 3 that Steve came back into the picture. Maybe 2.
Yeah.
It certainly wasn't 1, but it was either the end. It was a cliffhanger for episode 2 into 3 or something like that.
Okay.
So I mean, they could do that, or my prediction is I don't know if you can hold it. The show moves at such a fast pace that to go 4 episodes might be tough on this
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
She'll come in before that.
Yeah,
I think
I'm gonna guess 3.
Yeah.
So we'll see her in 3.
It's a good prediction.
All right. Speaking of Karen, Lip is also dealing with the aftermath in a different way. We didn't quite see him. We'll talk about it in our news and gossip. He'll kind of reminisce on her a little bit more. But tonight, it was just more focused on getting money and his new relationship with Mandy. I mean, it was very cursory. Again, we're just kind of getting back into everything. So we didn't see too much depth. But what did you guys think of where Lip's progressing?
I thought it was. I enjoyed, starting out with them. Didn't know what they were doing, like a bank heist. What this was for. So the fact that they were trying to steal this laser and end up fighting the campus police, it was enjoyable. I liked to see the two teaming up together and kind of getting into trouble.
Yeah, I like how they brought up his education again. He's so smart, you know? And I'm just like, I want him to do something with it. Like, I want him to go to college. I want him to do something. But I know he's so against it,
Well, I wouldn't mind if he didn't go to college.
I would.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. He has to do something, and for right now, if he doesn't go to college, he has no other avenue to do anything with his knowledge. And so that's the big shame.
Yeah.
Is he just needs to apply himself. I'm worried about this developing relationship as the season teaser
Yeah.
previews with Mandy, where I mean she's the one that bails him out,
Yeah, yeah. She loves her man. She's like already all into him. She really likes him.
but she's going to be very controlling at the
Yes.
same time. And you know, there's that disconnect where wow, you got a 4.6, I got a whatever she's
1.5 or
Yeah.
something she said.
yeah. So you know that's going to be a conflict in itself.
Yeah, I agree. Like you talked about, you know, with Lip, like who was better, which guy was better from. I would like to see him get with a girl that's a little more that could take him to a different level. Because I agree with you. I would be fine with him not going to college and not going to grad school, all the things that teacher wanted him to do. Because especially I think in this day and age when everybody's kind of doubting whether, you know, the traditional route of going to school and getting
Right.
the education is. So I would like to see him find something that he's really into that could that he could use his smarts and you know really
Yeah.
develop.
Yeah, and you know this is kind of more of a prediction, but him and Fiona have the standoff where he says, you know, poor people, we have to basically scramble or lie and
Right.
cheat to make money. It has something changed, and so he still hasn't figured that aspect of life. Like
Yeah.
you can rise above, you know, and
Yeah.
you have a 4.6. Rich kids don't usually.
Yeah.
Come on.
He's just not into it. He just like wants to stay on the Gallagher tract and just do off the beaten path sort of stuff.
Well, I think because he is so smart. He's easily bored, so he likes the excitement and the thrill of his shenanigans. And I think he has a hard time finding that kind of thrill in other more conventional routes.
Right. It's just too easy for him.
Yeah.
And Misery starts to agree with you to a certain extent. And you know, when the teacher
Right.
came in today, he said, you know, you're gonna go through college, you're gonna get your bachelor's, your master's, PhD, and all that
Exactly,
stuff, and you're gonna make a lot of money. And ironically, I think that disagrees with Lip. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like the notion of oh, I'm gonna be a rich man, because that's what he's always secretly fought against. I mean, you kind of got it with his
Yeah.
speech when he was mocking the hearing.
Yeah, that was really funny.
Are you mocking this process?
Yeah.
No.
It's like, no, sir.
That was a great scene.
So, you know, I'm interested to see where this is going. Yeah, I get more and more worried about him as time goes on.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing him back with Karen. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
I kind of like their crazy relationship.
I have to agree with you. I liked
kinda
it.
like it. It's nuts and all over the place. I like all that stuff.
it is. It definitely is. But the scary part, for, you know, in last year's season, there was that episode where we kind of saw, you know, Frank was basically like Lip, and then obviously we see the result of that
Right,
every
yeah.
week.
Yeah, I thought about Karen and Lip and then Frank and Monica, you know, just a mirror image of each other. Just the similarities in the relationship.
So I don't know. I want, ultimately, I mean, hopefully we'll get a lot of seasons, and by the end I want Lip to rise above all this, and it might have to mean he's gonna be single.
Yes, to leave it all behind.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, Karen got a little too crazy last. I mean, I
it's
liked
such-
them
it's so
together
good
as
for the
well,
show,
but
yeah.
there was quite a few things she did.
Yeah,
that are
she's
a little tough to get past in a
nuts.
relationship.
She's so mean.
Yeah. Anything else that you guys found interesting in the storyline? I mean, there was a lot to this whole storyline, but
With
with Lip
With
in
Lip.
particular, or you know, if you guys want to
yeah.
talk about Mandy.
Mandy. Yeah, I like her. I mean, I feel bad for her because I already know she's going to get her heart broken, but I like her in the storyline.
I'm actually kind of ready to see her go, to be honest. I'll take the other side on that one. I don't know. She does some funny things. Like I like her, you know, taunting the guy at the challenge at the end, you know, and some things.
Right.
But yeah, I'm kind of ready for something else.
Well, why do you like her?
I don't know. I think she's good for the show, and she's a little different, and I feel like she's going to maybe bring something out of Lip that we haven't seen before.
To me, she seems, and I might be reading too much into it, she seems too negative. Again, about everything. Like, even when he was building the laser, when it fails the first time, she's like, you know, yeah, what do you know? You know, and rather than just encouraging him, like, no, just try again.
Right.
You know, because it's Lip. He will try again, but, you know, if that kind of pressure continues to weigh on him, he won't rise above that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's why I think she's a little bit of a downer for me, and I'd like to either have somebody that's a little more sassy or
I think
I
it'll
had a
be
little more
good
personality.
when Karen comes back. Maybe some competition, and that'll be good.
That would be nice to
You
see.
know,
A
that's
whore off?
Yeah,
A whore off would be awesome.
Exactly. I think that'll be interesting to see them, and maybe Karen will change because she sees Mandy back. You know.
I mean, what's probably scary is that Karen doesn't like condoms, so.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Jimmy.
Jimmy,
Because he's got his horse to deal with.
Oh my gosh,
Jimmy.
that scene freaked me out.
Which one?
Where they cut up the boyfriend. I got goosebumps. Like that was insane when they cut him up.
Yeah.
You know?
I didn't predict where it was going when Fiona mentioned, like, hey, there's a car still out there and it's nice and all. I didn't quite understand it, and then as soon as Jimmy went outside, I was like, oh.
I knew right away it
yeah.
was for him. I knew right away. I was like, something's going on with Jimmy for sure.
Yeah. I mean, obviously that was a crazy scene, and Estefania.
Oh,
Are we going to see more of Estefania in his life? Like, is he going to, now kind of be with her? I mean, obviously he doesn't have to, only for the purposes of the passport, but is
Right. Is she gonna live at the Gallagher house or?
I don't. No, she's gonna live in her.
Yeah. That'd be funny to see.
I know. Right?
She's not doing that. But are we gonna see? A fair question would be: are we gonna see Jimmy more at her house?
Oh, well, they showed that scene where she leaned, like the teaser where she leaned in to try to kiss him. So maybe she'll start having feelings for him again, and maybe they'll start hanging out. You know?
Yeah, I think he's going to have to in order to keep up his end of the bargain now. Be there more often. I was so bummed because you finally get to see Fiona and Jimmy like together, which we wanted so, and then it didn't last very long.
Well, what's nuts is that he was enjoying the family life. He was doing all those things, and yet Fiona's pissed at him.
Yeah.
Just like women.
Yeah.
Is that like
Crazy.
women? Like,
Yeah, it's like we want it, and then we get it, and we're like, well, can you do something else? It's like Kevin said. He was like, don't you guys all want men to do that? And then it's like, no.
But
wait.
what would he do?
I'm like, what would he do? He's doing what he's supposed to do, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I actually liked how you see, and then her go and talking to V and venting about it and stuff, and then we ultimately see how when she likes, when he's burning the stuff, and you think, oh no, she's really gonna question. You can tell she just missed him being bad and having that
Right.
the guy she fell for wasn't this boring like I'm gonna do the laundry,
grilled
make the
cheese,
lunches,
yeah.
and be so normal like that. She likes the thrill of like not knowing where it's gonna go with him.
Like most women.
But she misses both. I mean, it's going to be a weird dichotomy because, obviously the family loved it, and she, I think, internally loved it because it makes her life easier.
Right, when she came home and he wasn't there, you saw her like, oh, wait, where is he? But she didn't seem worried. She knew he was going to come back.
But he's also lying to her, so there's that aspect of it. So it's going to be a weird balancing act for
And
him.
she knows. I mean, I'm sure she knows something else is going on. That's why she asked,
I mean, and the nice cars and
Yeah, when she saw the cars drive away, like she clearly knew that it's back.
But I think
into
it's
some
like
of the
you
old
said,
stuff.
she likes that bad part of him, and the good part.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be, they need the money.
Yes.
So if nothing else,
Yeah, what is he
she can
gonna
say what
do?
she wants, but like, the $2,000 for Carl's teeth, that was a nice thing,
yeah.
Yeah, I like how he's like, I did that.
I think it does show, like you said, how women are. I mean, a little bit like she's so used to fighting and struggling and doing everything on her own. I think it's hard for her to like let go and somebody else kind of do those things. So she's been the one, So then it's I think a difficult dynamic for her to be like, okay, well, it's okay to let him kind of help and do these things, but still be manly and attractive to me. So she'll struggle with that a lot.
And she's afraid he might leave. That's why they show that one scene. So I think that's why she's a little like, let me keep doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
I love the scene on the boat. Just the father talking about, what's really important and stuff like that. And it got scary. I mean, they were throwing the stuff off the board, and then like him with the gun. You could see. Nice job by Justin, the actor, of playing that and just being ridiculously scared.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know if you're going to get killed. You don't know if you're going to get murdered as you stepping onto that boat. It's a boat. You can't really escape a boat unless you swim, and then that's still.
Yeah, they were pretty far out there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I agree. On his facial expressions, he did such a great job of portraying that real fear. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting how that develops. But I think ultimately the lies are gonna only hurt Fiona and his relationship.
Yes.
You know, and ironically, well, I'll get to that in predictions. Let's talk about Fiona. You know, and where she's kind of at with her life. You know, women are so crazy.
Yeah.
Some are.
But it's been a continued theme of, you know, not just her, but the whole of Gallagher is trying to rise above this, and I think Carl's never gonna make it. Carl's doomed.
Carl's,
Forget it. Carl's, I think he might be a lost cause.
yeah, Carl might not make it to 16.
He might not, unless someone sneaks in and helps him. I mean, he's
Yeah.
pretty out there.
He's so cute, though.
He's cute.
But in terms of Fiona, you know, she got her GED, and yet, you know, it's still not enough, and she's very discouraged by this.
Should we talk about her job a little bit?
Sure, let's talk
Oh my gosh.
about the job.
That was a bit much. I had to like cover my eyes on that scene a little bit. That was a little intense.
You're talking about the shit scene.
Yeah.
I am talking about the shit scene. But I commend her for taking whatever jobs come up. But
I
man,
commend the
Yeah.
production.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was some
Look.
pretty thick poo. I mean, she was shoveling that stuff.
I mean, I'm scared to ask if they actually used real shit. And
I know. What was that? And they showed the burrito right after.
The burrito was
I'm like,
classic.
Come on. It's a bit much.
yeah, I mean, especially how the burrito was with the beans, just kind of.
Yeah, and that Fiona could actually keep. I think had that been my job, you know, all day, I actually probably seen a burrito. I don't know that I would have been able to like keep it down. I think it
Yeah.
might have
Well, it
been
just
like-
goes to show how desensitized the boss really was to all of it.
Yeah. Ooh.
It's great.
But I love how, I mean, it's also sad. Like, you know, what was it, $14.50 an hour?
Yeah.
I know.
And that was like, that
Good
was the
stuff.
motivator.
Yeah.
And pretty crappy of the boss. Like she couldn't have let her go the
was
day
not even-
before.
yeah.
Like she had to do that one last job for her last day. I'd be a little mad. I'd be like, hey.
Yeah.
You obviously knew when I got here.
Yeah. Because you already had my check ready.
Right.
Yeah, that ultimately does suck. But, you know, I don't want Fiona to get discouraged. And, you know, she's always balanced that high class, low class
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, we've seen her, you know, in terms of like her going back to the club, we've always kind of seen her, you know, in the slums of Chicago, but then we always see her all dolled up in these sort of
Yeah.
clubs, and we've seen her in a lot of clubs.
Yeah. I'm
You
not
know.
sure how I feel about this promoter job. I'm not really feeling that.
Why is that?
I don't know. I want to see her do something different. I was hoping she did do something with her GED. You know, I mean, I know she wants to do it, but I'm not really feeling that part of the storyline.
What would you like to? Well, what is Fiona's skill ultimately? Like, what is she employable for?
Well, she's clearly a manager the way she manages the the household.
Maybe more of an office job. I mean, I know that wouldn't be maybe that great for the show, but I just don't. I think it'll be bad for her. Maybe in the end, maybe she'll get mixed up in something.
Yeah.
In the club.
Well, I mean, you know, her boss kind of hinted at it of, you know, you have a ton of kids.
Right.
There's going to be nights. Like, you sure you're ready for this?
Yeah.
So there's going to be that, you know, because that means by day she's going to be sleeping, and then there's going to be Jimmy kind of helping out, which
Yeah.
would be fine, except he's got his lies going.
Right.
And, you know, ironically, Veronica's always been.
Love her.
Yes, she's awesome. But she's been the voice of reason.
Yeah.
And you know, as much as they're telling her like, you know, you got to pursue something better, it still sends a bad message when they're doing slave porn.
I mean, what was
Yeah.
that?
Awesome. That's what it was.
It was hilarious watching those scenes. Is this Angel Mama scarf too much? I'm like, what? Yeah, I really like that.
I mean, and the fact that, again, I applaud every one of these actors, that the fact that they just go there.
Yeah.
It is great
so
to
raw.
see. Yeah, they just go for it. And I love anytime they go over to Fee and Kevin's house. It's just great because you don't know what you're going to see. And
Right.
they always have so much fun. And it's just, I don't know, it's always great little moments for the show. They're
Yeah,
just
I mean,
like,
him working out, do I look good enough to
Yeah.
film?
And then he's got his wig. And
And his cast on his leg.
Who was he?
Going
Thomas
for it.
Jefferson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Thomas Jefferson was it?
Yeah,
it's-
I think.
And I love how, like, she's whipping him.
Yes. I thought that was, I was like, oh, that's a nice little twist.
Yeah.
I think the other way would have been a little controversial, for sure.
But
Well, not for Carl. It would have been the History Channel.
that was
Love that
great.
he said that.
Great line.
But yeah, I mean, in terms of that, she's not necessarily getting the best advice in life.
No.
So
Yeah. At least Veronica always, though, like, even when she's, like, tries to get her to go after better jobs, you know, and she's like, you know, you're Fiona, go reach higher and
Yeah.
set your sights higher, I think, which is good. And like, kind of calls her on when she's trying to, kind of feeling sorry for herself or getting down. So it's she needs to listen to her a little bit more.
yeah. All right. Anything else that you guys feel about Fiona that you guys would like to share that you guys noticed in this episode? Sorry if not. It's kind of a empty question, but
Yeah.
all right. Let's get to Frank, who
Oh, Frank.
Gran Canon, as he's
Yes.
nicknamed in Mexico.
It's great.
Yeah, I love that he took an extra one for himself at the end. It's like, that's just like Frank. You know?
That is. So
18, he says no, 19.
You knew it was going to be something good when you wake up, you know, when it opens up and they know he's been gone for 137 days. I was like, oh, I can't wait to see, like, where he's at now and what he's gotten himself into.
I know.
yes. They kind of, I saw a clip of that on Kelly and Michael, you know, on that show. And so it was, you know, but it was interesting to kind of see obviously the development. I mean, because on that show you saw like 15 seconds of it.
Right.
You know, they never show you anything really. But yeah, I mean, I didn't know that that's where it was going to lead to, but as soon as they were checking his asshole and mouth, I knew.
I knew that's what was going to go on, too. I was like, oh.
Do you see the size of those things? Yeah. It's like, no one could really do that, right?
No.
I mean, no.
they can,
Night.
they can't, certainly not 18.
Not 18, he would die.
I don't even think 8.
Or 19,
No.
right? Yeah.
No way.
Well, let's do the math on this. Your intestinal tract is what, like 30 feet?
Oh. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I have no
so,
idea.
yeah, you do the math.
And I'm like, I'll just be
Those
over
things
there.
looked a lot like that big.
Because on drug shows, I've seen they're like this big, you know.
Yeah, they usually have
an
them.
inch and a half or something. So I was like, there's no way he's gonna fit 18 of those.
Yeah.
I agree. Those were the biggest bags that I've seen on show.
Yeah,
Of course.
exactly.
And the girth too. Like it was.
Yeah, yeah.
That's where it gets rough. But
And I'm kind of wondering, like, when they're looking at it, like, how, you know, the fact that they looked in as you might well, but they're like, oh yeah, those will all fit in there.
Yeah,
like when
he's
he's been
good.
over. Yeah.
But I just love Frank's continued persistence at regardless of any situation he's in, it has to be the most comfortable for him.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
like just with the shoes. You know, hey, I need like new, you know, basically saying like I need new shoes or like can we switch?
Yeah.
You know, like dude, this is a shitty situation. You're crossing the border illegally. You
None
know?
of it processes
Yeah.
Frank. It's
No.
like Frank's world and everybody's just living in it.
Yeah. He's always so good at like calling out other people too. Like he called out Manuel, you know, and he called him like a pansy quitter and tries to fire him up, you know, and it's like coming from Frank, you know, like
Yeah, right? Who doesn't want to ever do anything?
yeah. But he
felt
can
that.
sure dish it out to other people to get him
Right?
like to do what he wants.
Yeah, it's just really a messed up logic, and the irony is he believes this stuff.
Yeah.
Yes,
You know.
he really does.
Yeah.
He's dead serious.
And which is why it's great when he passes through the border patrol, and you know it's the same guy, and you know he has that smug look on his face of like, yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So and like just going from the whole, you know, they're my other pants, and now he's got, you know, he's all cleaned up and like.
I don't think we've seen him cleaned up very
No.
often on the show at all. That was nice to see that.
I thought that too. I
Yeah.
was like, and then it didn't last very long.
No.
he
No.
couldn't even carry that until he got home to even like look presentable to his family when he walked in the door.
Yeah.
He still looked like Frank.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I just love how the Mexican cartel had to clean him up.
Yeah.
That was him and his photos.
Yeah, right. I felt bad for Debbie. I'm glad he came back at the end because I was starting to feel really bad for her.
Yeah.
With her little shrine and, you know.
But I like the way they played that too, where you know she was the only one and everybody else just
Yeah, they just kept
goes
talking.
back to it was
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's their family, and yeah, it's gonna be weird. 137 days
Yeah.
that he was gone, and And again, we kind of discussed this, but Sheila picking up, like, again, nobody really cares about Frank.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
I was like, they're so used to, like she said, he's done it before. He just does it all the time that they just know it's what he's going to do. And then
he'll
he's
be
going to come back and he's going to need to take money from him and do the same stuff all over again.
Which is funny. I mean, again, if he'll find a way to come back.
Oh,
and
yeah.
yes, shoving 19 packages up his, that's
Maybe you should take that package to Fiona's club opening the night she promotes, and then they could really make
I
a
thought
killing.
He's too selfless.
Yeah.
I thought for a second he might bring in some money to help with the tax in the house. Just for a second, then I was like, oh,
No, never.
Yeah,
right.
no.
The irony is, I think he's going to use a lot of it.
Yeah.
You know, he's gonna pre-sell it, and then have used it, but still have the money, and then be like, try to get out of that situation
Yeah.
Exactly.
of having to actually deal it out. So that'll be. I don't know. I don't think they'll show that, but
No,
that's just
but we know.
anything else, just in terms of the overall episode? Again, tonight we're kind of just warming up, getting started. As kind of most first episodes are. You kind of just
sort of like
warming up to
recap.
the whole show. Yeah, you know what I mean. There's certainly going to be a lot more to talk about once the situation develops in each of their storylines.
Yeah.
I always enjoy, like, they throw in a good balance of, humor, but yet some, like, serious, like, they do a great job of balancing the comedy and the drama. And, I liked one of the quotes, like, tonight when Fiona was talking about Frank, and she's like, Frank's like scabies, you can't get rid of him no matter how hard you try. And I don't know, they just pop in little zingers. It's so cleverly written
Right.
that I enjoy that.
And it's so fast paced. Like, I
Yeah.
forgot how.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they're so inventive. I give them a lot of credit with the production. They, just the shots themselves are always so creative. Like, and even with like Fiona in the water and the pissing, like down to every detail. The clothes through the hamper, and that was fun.
Yeah.
And I love the set. It looks so real. It's like a real house, really lived
We'll
in.
talk about that.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, before we get into news and gossip, I want to thank you guys for those of you who've listened to all 3 seasons. Congratulations, you are very good customers. Let's just say. For those of you just joining us, we welcome new customers all the time. However, when I say customer, it's actually free. So that's the best price for you. So we encourage you guys to download. In return, if you guys would just rate and comment on iTunes, it allows us to see what you guys think of us, and if we need to change anything, we can. Mostly we're vain and we just like 5 stars. But yeah, and we like the interactivity. But also, I know you guys have a lot of friends that also like Shameless, I'm sure. So if they're not listening to us, let them know, and that way it only enhances the conversations that you guys have with them about the show, because then you can reference what we said and what the show, and, you guys can agree with us, disagree with us, and, again, just let us know. We, whenever we do these types of shows, because we go up so fast, we literally go up right after the show. There's stuff we may have missed. There's stuff we may have gotten wrong. And I like it when you guys, catch us on that stuff or give us a different opinion. It makes it really fun for us here. So
Yeah, it does. We love to read the comments and then try to, talk about things you want to talk about, and helps us all.
we're building a
have fun.
community here.
Yeah.
We're shameless.
Exactly.
So speaking of that, let's get into the shameless news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
In an interview with Zappit, Emmy Rossum talked about the attention to detail in making the show set look vintage, early 20th century Middle America. She says, it's very important that it all feels like a house, that it feels cozy, that it doesn't feel fake. That's why when we were in our rehearsal process, we actually used the fridge as our fridge. We would make lunches for the kids out there, and it was all kind of real feeling.
So it goes back to your, what we just talked about, how it looks like a house.
Yeah.
And it does. I give them, and the shit looks like shit.
Yeah.
I really want to know what they used.
I mean, I hope they didn't go up to crew members and like, hey, you're going to use the porta potty today.
We're going to dump it all out.
Right.
It is true. I think, like, I grew up in a family. I just had one brother, but we had one bathroom. And
One bathroom?
We had one bathroom. Yeah. So that's how it was. And so I'm used to, like, we would have our conversations while we were in the bathroom. So I think I think it's very true the way they do that, and they have a lot of things that go on in the bathroom and in their house.
Wow.
So I think people relate to it.
Very cool. What do we got next?
William H. Macy made an appearance on Live with Kelly and Michael, where he discussed the show. They talked about Frank getting stuck in Mexico and Macy's kitchen coops.
Yes. So, it was kind of a nice. I had a chance to see that. It was a nice little interview. They didn't go into too much depth, but it was nice. I don't get to see William H. Macy as William H. Macy too often.
Right. I know. He's Frank to me.
He's a funny man. A very funny man. This is a little bit of spoiler alert. But
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
not the Frank. He's gonna get his haircut, and it's gonna be by Carl.
No way.
So it's gonna be a shitty haircut.
Oh,
Nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So that's what they discussed on that show. But we have another spoiler, which you can go ahead and read.
All right. Fiona and Steve Jimmy may finally be together, but Shameless's most shameless couple will hit a rough patch this season when they realize that living on the straight and narrow may be too boring.
And we got that obviously tonight. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see how much it develops.
Yeah, I like that bathroom scene where she was washing her face and he was using the restroom. It's the best.
That was funny. Now this is a little bit of throwback. I'm excited for this one. We found the top 10 shameless moments thus far. So why don't you go?
All right.
Let's go down this list.
All right. Number 1, eating the bald eagle at Thanksgiving.
So that was from season 2, episode 11, and
Yes.
that was a pretty crazy one.
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, eating the most symbolic creature of the United States, just in it's probably about like the bottom of the ring for.
It was pretty gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Number 2, using Carl as bait for a pedophile priest. Season 1, episode 5.
That's I almost forgot about that one, but
I did too.
Yeah.
I did too.
The good news is Carl can kind of handle himself, but the fact that Lip and, if you remember, Lip and Ian kind of set him up for this situation, that in itself is messed up.
Yeah.
All right. Number 3, Frank has Carl hit by a car. Season 1, episode 10.
Of course,
That
to
was
get
terrible.
money.
Yeah.
Right. Poor Carl.
So, I mean, he's the youngest. He's got to earn his stripes.
Right. Number 4, Eddie calls Karen a whore at a purity ball. Season 1, episode 10.
And that was the beginning of Karen's spiral.
Yeah.
That was
The black hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
if this one didn't happen, Karen would not be Karen.
Exactly.
She would still be a whore.
But not like she is today.
Yes.
Number 5, Frank gives himself a handy J with his despondent suicide.
Oh, yeah.
wife's claiming hand. Season 2, episode 11. That was disgusting. Yeah. Oh my God.
Frank's got needs. What can you say?
Oh man, he's ruthless. Number 6, Karen rapes Frank. Season 1, episode 11. Love that scene. Dude, it was funny.
I mean, all right. It's the first time I've heard rape and funny together. Associated.
Karen raped Frank. Karen raped Frank.
All right.
All right, number 7.
So women can't rape guys. Got it.
Yes.
Duly noted.
Number 7, Sheila kills Grammy. Season 2, episode 8.
Remember Granny Gallagher?
Yeah.
Yes.
And she, the pillow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Granny was getting on her nerves.
She was, so out she went.
Yeah.
Number 8, Frank kills Butterface. Season 2, episode 3. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
That was an awesome storyline.
Yes.
That was just.
I loved it, yeah.
That was great.
Number 9, Jody kills Kiss from a Rose. Season 2, episode 7.
That's remember when he sang,
Oh yeah.
and remember that they kind of showed that in the preview too, where Karen's like, stop, get out or whatever. So that was a fun one.
And number 10, Veronica finds a used condom covered in Cheetos. Season 2, episode 9.
Do you guys remember that one?
I don't
That's when
remember that one.
Fiona and Veronica, when they're working together and they're cleaning the motels.
Yes.
That's when they found that. For me, I wouldn't have put that on the list. This is
Yeah.
our list, so.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And then we have a bonus. Carl builds and then blows up a meth lab. Season 2, episode 7. That was the grandma,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yes.
So,
Good stuff.
all very funny episodes.
Yeah.
It makes you kind of remember at least, the finer details of this and such.
Right.
All right. What about our girl Shinola?
Shinola Hampton did an interview with ET and said, Season 3 is epic. It's my favorite season so far. You're in their lives and it goes to a whole new level. The dynamic between Fiona and Jimmy is totally different now. Lip is all about life after Karen and what it means to be in this new relationship with Mandy. Everyone has something juicy going on.
That's right. You know, and I'm excited. We're working on getting Shinola back in here.
Oh, yeah.
She plays Veronica, of course.
She's awesome.
She is very, very cool. We had her on last season, and we're working on a few other guests as well to get them here. And you know, of course, this season we want to try to get William H. Macy and Hymie to come on, and so it's just always a matter of scheduling. That's the toughest. So.
All right.
We're trying.
So Manhattan Magazine. Hymie Rossum is on the cover of Manhattan Magazine in a vision.
Which we have.
Oh, awesome.
Feel free to pull it up whenever, Marissa, so we can dissect that. But continue.
All right. And a vision of old Hollywood retro glamour. In the magazine, the star talks about Shameless, upcoming films, and a new album, which she released without the help of a record label. She says, I just decided to do it with my own money, she admitted. Taking the future into my own hands was why I created this record. Rossum said she planned on releasing the album online, but fortunately for the talented star, she was able to sell it to a label on her own terms. Her determination is also what she attributed to landing the role of a lifetime as the spicy and sexy Fiona Gallagher in the TV series Shameless. They didn't want to see me. They wouldn't even let me audition, she said, of the show's producers. They thought my image was too glamorous that I couldn't not be pretty.
Well, I mean, look at that.
I mean, I know.
We're looking at the Manhattan Magazine photo, and check it out, guys, if you're not watching.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Definitely old
Yeah.
Hollywood.
Yeah. I love that red lipstick.
Yeah, and she is so stunning, and yeah. You can continue.
And while she clamored for the role as a sexually liberated Fiona, Rossum says that there are some things that she can't relate to with her character. I'm not the sex on the first date kind of girl, she admitted. What Hymie does identify with is Fiona's loyalty and personal strength. I'm a very loyal person too, sometimes to a fault. I don't let anything send me into a tailspin, she said. Things haven't always come easy for Rossum, who opened up about the struggles of growing up the only child of a single mother and her musical education after she joined the Metropolitan Children's Chorus at the age of 7. It was all a magical fantasy world, that kind of journey I've always loved that you can get from a good book, she said. And as a child, Rossum learned to sing in 20 languages and performed with the likes of Luciano Pavarotti and Dolly Parton, as well as acting on stage alongside Aidan Quinn and Janet McTeer. I realized the decisions I was making were going to affect my whole life, she said. I was conscious it could all disappear.
So, obviously a very long news item, but I felt, you know, I actually purposely made it that long because, you know, there's just the fact that she almost didn't get cast in this, and, like, you know, I can't imagine Fiona without her.
No.
And, you know, also just kind of how she relates to the character, so it was really nice to see, and that's why, you know, wanted to be kept that long. And the fact that she financed her own album.
I know.
Yeah.
On her own terms.
Yeah. I love stories like this. It's like she could have, once they said no and didn't want to see her, she could have just been, oh, okay, they don't want to see me. I'm not going to. But I love those stories where they fight and really know what they want, and she clearly is that type of person.
Yeah, I read the script and she really wanted that role, so she went and got it.
Yeah, and if you really think about it, I mean, it's a cable show. It's Showtime. You know, it's not even. Yeah, you know, it's a premium channel. So to fight that hard for that role, she really believed in it, and you know, I mean, it helps when you have John Wells, who's known in this industry as you know, he's the executive producer, one of them at least, for this show. But he's a legend in our business, so you know, I'm sure that swayed her, and she must have loved the script. You know, they all really do. So she really believed in this project.
She's really well-rounded. 20 languages.
She can sing in 20 languages.
Yeah.
But it's still still very impressive.
You know?
As I shit on it. Yeah, 20 languages, singing 20 languages.
How many can you sing it? You're like,
anyway.
I can't even sing. No, just kidding.
But that is our news and gossip for January 13th, 2013. And if you don't know, Shameless, or no, Showtime, you can is it like a week where you have a trial with Showtime right now if you don't have Showtime?
Oh, I love when they do that. They always do that random. I think it's a week.
I think it's, I can't imagine that you're watching a Shameless without having Showtime, but
I already have it. I have it.
So.
Yeah, I have it because I'm hooked to the on-demand and watching all the stuff all the time.
Yeah. So if you don't have it, you have it for a week for free. So, all right, let's get into predictions for the season.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
What do you guys predict? Let's, in terms of anything.
Okay, I just have one big one that I'm going to drop for tonight. But
Go ahead.
I think Jimmy is going to kill, I'm sorry, what's his wife's dad's name?
Nando?
Nando. I think Jimmy's going to kill Nando.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Oh, right.
I mean, yeah, you can't really get out unless you kill someone. That is a rule.
He's kind of trapped, yeah.
Yeah, he is kind of trapped in there.
Which episode do you think that's going to happen?
Oh, all right.
It could be, I mean, if they play it right, it could even be a season finale.
Yeah.
It could be a season finale.
Yeah.
Or it might not.
I was going to go with like 7, but.
All right. It could be mid-season finale. That's great, too.
I'm predicting Fiona and Jimmy are going to break up.
Again.
Yes, like permanently. That's what I'm predicting.
Could they be fuck buddies?
Yes, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to work out. I think everybody's going to get bored. I want to separate.
Oh, that sucks.
I know.
yeah.
It's just,
want them to work.
I'm excited. Well,
I do too, but I don't know.
Yeah.
we saw a confrontation with Ian's boyfriend coming back, and then Lloyd obviously being like, "Hey," and he gets punched out. Obviously, we see snippets of the confrontation of Jimmy and Fiona. I think Lip, he's always going to have that ongoing struggle. We're excited to see Karen, hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm predicting episode 3.
Come on, Karen.
And yeah, I think overall we're just excited for a really, really good season.
Yeah.
Oh,
So.
yeah.
Yeah, looks great.
It does. So once again, go to iTunes, rate and comment. It means a lot to us. We will work on many, many guests for you guys. As always, it's a scheduling thing. But in the meantime, feel free to talk with us outside of the show. And how do they do that, JJ?
You can find me at JJ Jurgens on Twitter or at jjjurgens.com.
And you can find me on Twitter at Drea Renee _N.
And of course, follow us at AfterBuzz TV on Twitter. We have Instagram, we have Facebook, all that fun stuff. So yeah, check us out. And until next week, we're gonna sign off for Shameless.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.